let's face it, see if you were going on holiday, it would be an absolute nightmare anywhere you went, because one region, I don't know if you're very familiar with this region, but it's called I brought it up earlier, that's the Ore region. Technically it's like spelled Ore, but I think someone in the trailer said Ore region, so everyone says Ore. Let's say Oreo region, okay? The Oreo region is based off of, I think, the Phoenix Desert, so it's pretty hot to begin with.
Pretty warm.
And I have to admit, that's pretty cool. That seems like a more realistic take in the Pokemon universe, because you've got like this barren desert, you've got Team Snag'em, as I said, and then you've got the bloody geneticists that hide themselves underground and they decide to experiment on, all these different Pokemon, and they have shadow Pokemon, which apparently, didn't realise this, they strip like all the personality and free will out of them, and they just make them like a shell that's like perfect for fighting. So, not to mention Mewtwo as well. Do you want to know a fun fact about Mewtwo?
Oh, I always want to know some fun Mewtwo facts.
Well, according to the manga, he had a big spoon. I just wanted to point that out. That's got no relevance.
Good to know.
Because he was a psychic, so it's like, what can we do to make him look like a psychic? Give him a spoon. Seriously, I'm going to send you another picture of this. Mewtwo with spoon, because it's...
Better not be as horrifying as the last one you said.
Well, hopefully not. Mewtwo with spoon.
Mewtwo
So basically, he is the one who's trying to get our Machamp flakes.
Has this been his dastardly plan all along? He just wants some of them. Oh my god, that is a junk. You get my whole pack with that?
You could eat your house with that.
Good. Oh my god. Mewtwo's after our Machamp flakes now.
Yeah, he's trying to stop us from getting the milk, because he knows, right? He knows that if we get the milk, that's game over. We're going to be eating them, and they're going to get soggy. I just love the image that after all of this, we'll be walking around with a packet as well of Machamp flakes.
Oh, we so dried out in the sun of the desert. Oh,
no, worth it though. Worth it.
Worth it when we get some moo milk and we're gonna have our dried out, sand covered Machamp flakes. I can't wait.
With a nice tall glass of Squirtle juice.
Oh, a little chaser of your piss to watch it.
Just a dram. So going back to the fun Machamp, the fun. I can't get Machamp flakes in my mind. Could we just go into marketing instead?
No, I feel like that's where our talents really lie.
Yeah.
Can we go to university? Is there like education system in this one? Can we go get a degree?
Here's the thing though, there are Pokemon schools, but you never really see any Pokemon universities, so can we just assume that everyone in the Pokemon universe has like the education level of a 10-year-old?
You just leave. You leave primary school and it's like, right, off to the meadows in the forest to get your Pokemon.
But that would explain why there's like all of these kids running around in adults saying, oh, do you know what would make the world better? Like, especially for Ruby and Sapphire, this isn't a hot take, but it's like, you know what would be better if we had more sun? No, I think it'd be better if we had more rain. You have the mindsets of a 12-year-old at best. What are you thinking? But sorry, back to the quick Mewtwo fun fact. In the film, there's actually a whole deleted 5-minute sequence where they introduce the idea of cloning. It's not in the games, but technically there is a glitch that you can use in Pokemon Silver to clone Pokemon, so I'm going to count it. Cloning exists in this world, okay? In the film, like the very first 5 minutes, Mewtwo is like a younger version of himself, and he's kind of floating around, and he meets this young girl within his dream, and he meets the three like main starters. He meets Bulbasaur, Charmander and Squirtle, and then they all slowly start disappearing in front of his eyes. Flashback to the real world, and it turns out they're all real, but in like jars and flatlining.
Oh my god.
And the whole experiment was to try and bring a doctor's daughter back to life. It got pretty dark in Generation 1, I have to say. And that's not including if you're walking to the shops and you see like a child flying over you because a ghost type Pokemon tried to kidnap him.
Do you know what this world really needs? It really needs some like bureaucratic regulation. It needs some red tape.
It really does. I'm sure there's like regulations and rules, but it's only the badge system. Can you imagine
It's not enough.
Can you imagine the counterfeit system? The amount of Etsy stores would blow up in this universe. You're like, oh, do you want a funky Earth badge or something? And it's like, oh, I can't wait, I'm wearing an Earth badge. The local authorities can't place why a Machamp bet his trainer to death, even though he had an Earth badge. It's like, sources say it could have been a fake. It's like, of course it's a fucking fake.
Do you know what the gyms really need? They need like a guest book or something like that, so you have to sign on the way out.
All of this for a pint of milk.
This milk better be good, because I could have easily just gone out and just milked an Oddish to begin with. save myself this trouble.
Is that better or worse than drinking Squirtle juice?
You know what? I still think milking the Oddish is something about it. I don't know how you milk it. Like, I don't know. I want to know.
It's like you're that scene out of Meet the Parents. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
There's an Oddish sitting there at our dinner party, just like
Oh.
saying that to us. Like, I hope I like moo moo milk. And again, I'm like, that's a bit too bitter for me.
What if you don't like it though?
Well,
You do know they sell them for like, I think it's like either, is it 500 or is it 5,000? I can't remember. I think they sell them in bulk, so we could literally have like a crate of them. Here's another fun fact. I don't know if you remember this from the old games. Slowpoke tails.
I remember. Is the slowpoke tail like a shell?
No, well, there's that as well, but no, it's more to do with chopping off the tails, because like this was a whole business plan by Team Rocket. They were going to chop off the tails, and they said, oh, it doesn't matter because they don't feel pain and it grows back. So then they sold it as like a tasty snack.
And this is a game for kids, right?
Can I just say, this was in silver and gold. This wasn't like a later grimdark edition.
This is still very early on in the whole. Oh my god. The things you have told me over the course of this episode, I don't think I'll ever be able to wrap my head around.